Little knock forward though, and Australia get the scrummage.
One thing I think that will be concerning the Australians is the fact that they've lost at least 3 lineouts in this half, and it's mostly due to the poor throw. Romania do compete on the opposition ball, but really in strike positions they should never be losing their own throwing.
Kiefer. Daniel Herbert on the switch, and he's a very strong man. Crossing the gain line, and now danger for Romania. Little ball going forward, but again Romania, to give them credit, defending tenaciously even though the line was initially broken by Herbert.
Yeah, they've stepped up the defence I think in these second 20 minutes of the half, and they did look a bit lightweight in that area, especially in the first couple of minutes when Oren just waltzed in, but the last 20 minutes they fought hard, tackled well.
B2, Vusek, not a great pass from the scrum half. Sometimes don't like that too much. And at the moment, B2's putting in. Slazariuk's a pretty good hooker. He's in the second row.
Tail first, tail first. Tail.
Right, can they get it right this time? Can Phil Kearns get it right this time? David Giffen at the tail this time. And again, there's interchanging in that line out just before the ball comes in as Giffen moves up to the front. Phil Kearns ready to rumble. Gregan. Kearns inside. Finnegan again. Finnegan's had a lot of the ball in this first half, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He's got himself involved very much in the positive running. He's a big man. He's going to break tackles. He'd be used to batter over the gain line. But Gregan there, a little pass back inside, and just unfortunately lost forward. But they are a good team, and they're going to work some opportunities.
And Owen Finnegan leaving the scrum too early, and Romania get a penalty. We've talked about how the Australians will feel at half-time, and with this first half performance, what about Romania?
Well, obviously they started the game as massive underdogs. They shouldn't be too disappointed. I think they'll be quite heartened in some respect in the fact that when they do get the ball, they can compete. They've broken the gain line several times. They've looked dangerous, and so you know, they won't be too disappointed with the way they've played. They would like to get a little bit more ball and possibly press a little bit harder in defence, but other than that, they can't be too disappointed.
New coach Romania, John Phillips, was the technical advisor. Kiwi, ex-Rotherham coach, ex-Canterbury player, who was appointed in July after the heavy defeat by France. He now works alongside Mircea Parashi. Phillips was the All Black A coach for a while. Seem to be All Black coaches everywhere you look.
Yes, well, Wales have done particularly well since we've had ours, and the Irish have also got one as well.
Yeah, they're good. We've had a few, actually. Murray Kidd as well. Kiefer. Tim Horan, that's Kefu. Gregan. Again, little short, popped ball, trying to suck in those Romanian defenders. And number 10 not releasing. Kiefer penalised.
Australia not really getting over the gain line with these moves in midfield. They look powerful and strong, but great defence that time. Good tackling in midfield, because certainly these Australian guys are big, powerful men, and it do take some knocking down. So they can feel heartened with certainly the way they played the last 5 or 10 minutes. Romania really are competing well.
Add Mitu to the list of Romanians who can kick the ball a country mile. Injury on the edge of the Romanian 22, but the referee, Paul Honus, saying play on. Petrash seems to be all right. One of the up-and-coming young players in Romania. And Petrash wins the line out as well. He was in agony 30 seconds ago. Brezianu pumping through. Mitu looks, Sluzariuk. Ooh, didn't get too far. Mitu, Vuzek, his second attempt at a drop goal. Oh! Well, very unlucky, the out half.
That was a brilliant effort, in fairness, because we were only just standing inside his own half, and he didn't connect quite properly, but he was low and powerful it was, and hit the crossbar at the end. But great attempt, second good attempt in this half.
And the forwards will have enjoyed what happened immediately after that, hitting the bar. Bart knocks it 70 metres down the field. So have they, boys. Petru Balan in his second year as a Romanian international, and this time it's Australia's turn to steal some ball. It's John Eales. Referee playing Australian advantage. Coming in from the side, Sluzariuk is penalised. 31-year-old second row forward. Just having a word with Draguianu. Sluzariuk, the reason for that is Logan Tiniak's the captain. Draguianu speaks a bit of English, so he's the interpreter. Well, they've muffed a few lineouts, Australia, in this first half. They could do with a clinical one here, and they've got it. Finnegan has the ball. Kearns on the drive with Wilson. Kearns, Gregan, and Rod Kafer under pressure, but you'd have to think they were offside, and the referee certainly agrees. Tim Horan, interesting kick. Oh. And the referee gives the try. Knock on and goal, played the advantage, and Little gets the touchdown.
Great vision by Little there. The old-fashioned cross kick. And Little had his hand up. Horan saw him, put the kick across. Well measured, Aussie rule style. And just diving back to get his hand, and all the all-important touchdown. But you've got to feel a little bit sorry for Romania. They defended very well on their own line. Powerful drive-in line-out. But that little hand there makes it 5 points.
Of course, those two were almost telepathic in the 1991 World Cup when they played in the centre together.
Yeah, they then formed probably the best centre partnership in the world at that time. And I think probably Horan and Herbert are now probably the best centre partnership there is in the world at this time. So there's a common thread there.
Jason Little these days struggles to get into the Australian side. Joe Roth, who's run out of form slightly, is on the bench tonight. No good this time. But half-time approaches and Australia stretch their lead. They lead by 24 points to 3. That try in the end, Gwyn, coming from Australia doing it right at the line out, because they have struggled a little bit there on their own ball, as you have mentioned, but that time it was a simple and effective, and it ended up with another 5 points.
Yeah, Australia very complicated line out. There's tremendous movement in all directions, and that's probably what's hampering their possession, or their ability certainly to win possession.
Giffen. Kafer, and that's Herbert and Kefu, and Tim Horan tries the sleight of hand, which only serves to put his half-backs under exceptional pressure, bundled over by the Romanian defenders.
There's that man, Petru Mitu again, great tackle on his opposite number, driving him back. All his mates joined in to push them backwards, and Romania get the put in. Good defence.
Pretty good scrummage too. Pick up by Dragoianu. Tackle from Finnegan. Septar working the ball free for Romania. Good play by the back row forward. Gontiniak. Vitu Brazuianu. Well, some referees are very, very strict on that, and some aren't, but this one is, and that's crossing in midfield. Penalty to the Wallabies.
Yeah, it's been a bit up and down, hasn't it, that refereeing decision this World Cup already, and the grey area is getting bigger and bigger.
Well, there we are, half-time whistle from Paul Hollis, and Australia leading by 24 points to 3. We've seen some good Australian rugby. We've seen some average Australian rugby. We've seen some tremendous defending by Romania and some pretty pacey attacks from them as well. The second half will certainly be interesting, no doubt.
Well, they started so promising, didn't they? Tim Horan going over after just 3 minutes. But do they look like World Cup winners to you? The thoughts of David Kirk coming up right after this break.
Australians back out in the field, and they have a replacement in the electric Joe Roth. Hasn't been playing his best rugby of late. 45 times capped and a great finisher by reputation. Welcome back to British Eurosport viewers, and interesting comments there at half-time from Simon Reid, and especially from the former New Zealand captain David Kirk. Interesting comments now guaranteed from Gwyn Jones, the former Welsh captain. The Romanians put up a pretty good fight in that first half, and you feel that they had a fair amount to offer in that 40 minutes.
Well, I think they did, and in fairness to them, they did offer themselves to play, because we saw Italy yesterday when they were being dominated by England, just being very negative, cynical, killing the ball. But certainly the positive way and attitude that the Romanians have had with the ball, they've been a delight to watch. So, and when they have got the ball, of course, because of that attitude, their adventure, they're creating opportunities, and they're playing very well because of it.
We've seen all the favourites now in this World Cup, obviously. Who's impressed you the most?
Well, I'd probably have to say, through gritted teeth, England. They seem to have good structure in their game. They were heavily criticised before the World Cup started, and because of that, they were something to prove yesterday. They were efficient, they were ruthless. In 25 minutes, I think they'd done a lot. They'd kicked, they'd passed, they'd driven lineouts. They'd shown every gambit they had, and they looked comfortable in any way they played. So, after the first round of matches of the favourites, certainly England are probably the best or most happy with their first performance.
So when you're forced to leave Wales, where will you live?
I thought Wales weren't too bad.
Well, fair comment there from Gwyn Jones. I think everybody who saw them was impressed with England, no matter who you prefer to support. Certainly plenty of variety in their game. The Australians have tried some variety in their game, but most of the time it hasn't really worked for them. Up goes Gontiniak there with Daniel Herbert. Finnegan. So he's been so involved in this game, has Owen Finnegan. A little bit high perhaps, and possibly offside as well. And the referee says yes, both.
Well, certainly high, and crunching tackle can be a bit dangerous, of course, when you tackle that high and powerfully, but thankfully no injuries.
We have seen quite a few high tackles in this game. There were certainly several this afternoon on Tana Umaga of New Zealand. Replacement hooker as well for the Australians in the second half. Finnegan, Gregan, Kafer, Timmy Horan. And the referee gives the penalty to Australia over the top. Tian Strauss is on as well, one of the big impact players on this Australia bench.